Hello, welcome to the JCPod. I'm your host, Jaden Chandler Parnell. And hey, we're officially in the offseason, man. NBA's done, NHL's finished off now, and all we got is baseball for another 80-some days. So hey, it's going to be an interesting time. Before I start, though, I just want to apologize for the, not the sound bar, excuse me, the scroll bar issue. I don't know what happened. I updated my editing software, and now it's completely different to, make a scroll bar and edit and everything. So I'm just going to make a new one, figure out how to make it cooler, look a little different, but yeah, until I can figure out how to get the text working and everything. And some of the other stuff. Yeah, until I get some of the other stuff working, I'm kind of stuck right now. So, yeah, last time I was editing, I spent, I want to say, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, even like damn near an hour trying to figure it out, and I just couldn't. So we're going to play through this weekend. I just want to get these two videos out. Sorry, maybe next week I might not have one either, but hopefully with the out there these next 2 weeks I'll have it fixed and we'll be back to normal. But yeah, it's just, you know how technology is. You edit it and now, or I guess you update it and all of a sudden it completely changes and everything. So yeah, I guess we're going to start with talking about the NHL for a little bit. Just talk about the Golden Knights' first championship ever in their history. Same with, just as the same with the Nuggets. Really cool year in sports. Yeah, really awesome year in sports when it comes to, I think the Las Vegas Aces for the women's basketball won their first title. So we had a lot of first timers. I know UConn already has won one, but it's been a while for them. That was really cool. Are there any sports I'm missing? Super Bowl? I guess Chiefs. That one didn't really count, but overall, it's been a very interesting year of sports. The parody has caused a lot more. Yeah, very exciting for parody in sports has been crazy, but very exciting for the Vegas Golden Knights, who just absolutely beat the hell out of the Florida Panthers. I mean, Tkachuk for the Florida Panthers was out, and he was their best player throughout the playoffs. So the fact, apparently they made it sound like the game before this, like the game, so game 4, that I believe the Panthers won. They apparently had to, like, the way they made it sound is they basically had to pick him up and put his clothes on and put his pads on, put everything on for him, tape it for him. Like, it sounded like that dude couldn't move. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with him, injury-wise, because that's one of the cooler things about the NHL playoffs is you see all these injuries that guys are playing through. Like, there's guys who try to get back in the game after having 75 stitches in their face. There's guys who are playing with broken backs. There's guys playing with broken legs. Like, this is the fun part of the, and by fun part I mean just like the crazy part of the hockey season, where you just learn, like, oh, this guy was playing with a broken leg for like 3 weeks, and this guy had a rolled ankle that was a double sprain that you shouldn't be walking on unless you got a boot, and they've had that for 2 months. Like, there's just stuff like that where guys are just absolutely beat to shit, and they've just been holding it for forever. So that's really, really cool. It's just cool how much they battle through it, honestly, because you want to talk about hockey is one of the toughest tough guy sports out there. Because I mean, obviously it's one of the few sports where you can get away with fighting somebody in the middle of doing everything. But I mean, the fact of the stuff they go through throughout the season, just man. You're basically doing wind sprints for 2 or 3 minutes straight, and then you go onto the bench, and then you go back out there and do your wind sprints. Like, it's mad respect to them, man. But yeah, I don't want to take anything away from the Golden Knights. Absolutely, in a closeout game, blew out the Panthers. 9-2 or 9-3. Like, it was, like I said, it was a complete slaughter. I want to shout out Stoner. He had 3. I think he had 3. Yeah, shout out to Mark Stone, who had a hat trick. And I believe the captain for the Vegas Knights. No one's had a hat. I want to say no captain. It might just be the captain. It could just be a player in general, but no cap for sure. No captain's had a hat trick in finals game since 1920. Yeah. There's some rare air that some of the Vegas players saw in this finals game, and I mean he almost had 4 goals. I mean he had a game, man. Just hella props to him, for real. Hella props to Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, Vegas gets another championship. It's really awesome. The Athletics are probably going to be on their way here soon. I'll probably talk about that when I touch on the MLB here in a minute. But yeah, before we get to excuse me, my goodness. Before we get into MLB, like I said, shout out to the Golden Knights again, one more time. Really, really awesome season. I'm going to talk a little bit of NFL. I was going to do an NFL story this week, but I think I'm just going to save it for next week because of the whole scroll bar issue. So it's like this This episode this week probably might be a little bit shorter, going to be a little bit weirder just because, of course, there's issues. But like I said, thankfully it's the off season, so it's one of those things where it's like my episodes aren't. I'm not going to say they're terrible because they aren't terrible at all. I've been putting hard work into them and everything, but sometimes just like the quality's not the best. Like 2 episodes without a scroll bar after having a scroll bar for 2 months, like, come on, man. So yeah, I don't want to make it too long and just make it worse than it needs to be. So we're gonna save the story for next week when I have a scroll bar, when everything's fixed and everything. So yeah, that was before, like I said, I want to get into some NFL talk. Ooh man, I can't wait to touch on some baseball. There's some baseball. I think what I'm gonna do to some of these shows now on Thursdays is just have to talk some baseball news. I'm not gonna do stats and standing this week. I'm gonna save it for. I'm hopefully going to have a guest on next week. Like I said, if I fix the scroll bar by next week, I'm going to have my boy Rowan back, hopefully, and we're going to talk some baseball next week. So, yeah, I'm not going to – I just want to touch the news a little bit and not go too deep into it. So the Colts, Taylor wants to retire with the Colts. He's wary of the running you look at the past, and guys have shown their value on and off the field tend to stay here, Taylor said, according to the Indianapolis Star. My goal the first season after I got drafted, I'm like, I want to retire Colt. Hopefully the organization sees that the same way. So basically, I hope they take him, and they probably should. I hope the Colts keep him for a while. We will see how things go. It's kind of on them right now. That's what Jonathan Taylor said, and it's just one of those things where hopefully he gets to stay. The running back market, yes, it's absolutely terrible when it comes to paying and all that. But usually one of the nice things I will say about the Colts is it's going to sound funny because they didn't do this for Peyton Manning, but usually they do treat their players right. Like, don't get me wrong, I know they cut Peyton Manning. Still, I mean, I still can't believe that to this day. They cut Peyton Manning. But, I mean, it's one of those things with football. Like, usually they do take a really good care of their guys. And so hopefully they do the right thing with Jonathan Taylor. I just hope they don't screw it up because, yeah, there's been a lot of dark Colts history. And we don't need to keep losing good players. Lamar excited to work with OBJ. The sky's the limit for the Ravens. I truly think it is. This is the best receiver the Ravens have had, I think, since his tenure there. I don't even think that's a question. I think it's been a while since he's had some like good receiver help, and I think now hopefully it makes him better as a quarterback. Like, because truly now that he has help, like I don't want to say there's no excuses because this is first year in the new system, but there's a chance now. Yeah, he has a real receiver. Like, yeah, I want to see what he can do this year. It should be very, very exciting for Lamar. Bengals Chase says that Burrow is the NFL's best quarterback. Pat who? So this all comes from a pod. I don't think it's a podcast. I think it was like a reporter's report. They asked Joe Burrow. I mean, it's one of those reporter questions where it's like they're just trying to get a rowdy. It's like, who do you think the best quarterback is in the NFL? Like, you're asking. It's like asking. Basically, I know it's like asking Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe. It's like asking like the top basketball players. Like, who do you think the best basketball player is in the game? It's like, obviously they want to say them because that's what they should be saying. But really great answer here. Joe Burrow said Patrick Mahomes. He has all the hardware and jewelry, so that's the guy we got to beat, which is first off, very good answer. But the first thing I saw when I saw this, when Jamar Chase says Joe Burrow's NFL's best QB, and he says Pat who? The biggest thing I thought about that, but yeah, Chase was like Burrow. Everybody knows that's easy MVP, and he's like Pat who added it to that. Obviously. And then Mahomes, personal trainer for Mahomes said something about, like, thank you. I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I think it's like when I first saw it, like when I saw when Jamar Chase said that, I'm like, ooh, that's probably not good. But it's one of the things, obviously you're confident in your guy, so you're going to gas up your guy. Receivers do it all the time. I mean, Tyreek Hill all last season was like, 2 is the best ball thrower. So, I mean, it's one of those things, like, yeah, you get it, but you want to talk about giving motivation. I mean, the Chiefs just won a Super Bowl. And Joe Burrow's supposed to be the next up-and-coming thing in the AFC. And I know Chase just saying that. It could mean nothing. This could be a throwaway comment. But you want to talk about finding bulletin board material. I mean, Michael Jordan. The guy asked to pay for his dinner. Michael Jordan took that personally. Yeah, I think coming out and saying this, this just gives... It's June now. This gives something... It probably gives Mahomes a good little 2 to 3 weeks of motivation to think about. But I will not be shocked. This is just something I want to bring up. I might even make this into a YouTube short at some point. Like, I will not be shocked if this Pat Who comment comes back off the Chiefs end up toppling the Bengals to go somewhere. But the nice part is, like, Joe Burrow's a really good quarterback, so it's like it's going to be a really fun competition to watch those two play. It's basically, I would say in the AFC, it's basically those two. I would say those are the top two. Obviously, I think there's Josh Allen's up there as well. But, I mean, I think right now, yeah, those are the top two quarterbacks in the AFC East. Aaron Rodgers being there, that definitely makes it a little tough. I mean, hey, if you're looking at the young guys, I think those are two of the younger, like, when it comes to young guys, I think those are two quarterbacks you want. Like, Travis Kelce said he won't retire until the wheels fall off. That's awesome to hear. He's going to be that tight end you play with in Madden when he's like 39 years old that has like 45 speed. You're like, this guy's so worthless. Why is he even still playing? If he gets to that point, man, that'd be really awesome. But Travis Kelce truly is, I hope he continues to play. He's just building on the resume for best tight end ever. I think it's basically, I don't think it's stupid to say it's between him and Gronk. I mean, career-wise, Gronk I think has like a ring or two more, but I mean, stat-wise, I think Gronk might also have him just slightly, but it's getting to that point where it's like, hey, that actually is a conversation now, I think, truly. Like, there's truly a conversation between Kelce and Gronk. He's only entering his 11th season, too. I thought it's been a while. I just think it's hilarious that, I hope he keeps playing because, yeah, he's only, like I said, dude, he's 33, so he's getting there a bit in the age for football, but hey, I mean, he's doing all right. I would say he's doing all right. The Charger Herbert doesn't hold out the possibility of holding during training camp. I think this is contract related, right? As for a contract extension, talks between the Chargers and Herbert's agents remain ongoing. Los Angeles is expected to begin training camp on July 26th. So it's just one of those things, like I said, it's off season, so he might hold out to get money, he might not. We'll see. It's probably one of those things where he won't. Or if he does, he's going to get the money pretty much right away. I don't think there's a chance that the Chargers let that guy walk out of the building. Kirk Cousins is not expecting extension talks to resume until March. So basically, same boat for him. I would not be shocked if a deal happens. Like, I won't be shocked if they're talking right now, but the way that his deal makes it sound, he's probably not going to be till next March. I think he has like 2 or 3 years left on his deal. Man, Kirk Cousins set to earn $30 million in this final season of his contract. Okay, so he still it's his last year, but he's making $30 million this year. So yeah, I don't think he's making a lot of money. I don't think he's in a hurry to make it, but it's gonna be very interesting. I wonder if he does resign. I think it's only for like 2-3 years max. I would not be shocked if it's only 2 years. I know he had one of his best seasons last year, but I feel like the Vikings are to the point where they need to maybe move on from him. I have no issue with Kirk Cousins. I think he's all right. I just don't think he's going to be. I just don't think he can get you over the hump right now. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I have. How many years has he played? I think he's 34. I think he's been playing for about 10 to 12 years. It's just one of the things. Like, I know last year, 13-4 record. He threw 4,500 yards, 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. They also had Dalvin Cook. I think losing him is going to be a big thing. And don't get me wrong, I think Kirk Cousins is good, but I just don't think he's going to be the thing that gets you over the hump. I think you just need a little bit more from the quarterback. Nothing against him, like I said. It's just, I think I've just seen enough from him to know that I just don't know if you can get over the hump with him. Apparently, Levante David said the fellow linebacker Devin White got too emotional when he requested a trade in April. He reported the mandatory minicamp, but he's not practicing apparently. So apparently, they're saying it's not a hold in. He's just trying to get ready since he missed all their workouts. Well, I just can't tell if it's one of those things. They also said he didn't come into camp ready, so it makes me wonder, was he not doing anything? Because they said they needed time for him to prepare, but it's like, this whole issue happened in April, and now it's June. He needs time to prepare, which first off, I kind of get because it's the, I guess, but I also kind of don't get because it's only June. So I don't know. That's just a very weird situation. Bringing that up, I'm just like, stuff like that has me a little bit worried about the Bucks. It could just be one singular player, and it could be nothing, but hearing stuff like that, I mean, that is not a good way to start the offseason. The Netflix's Quarterback the series is gonna premiere on July 12th. That's something that's actually I saw an ad for it. That's what I just thought was really cool. That's gonna, I think, go through Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes and Marcus Mariota, I think, are the three quarterbacks they're going to follow. I'm very interested to watch it, just simply from the fact it's going to be a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm excited to... I'm just excited to see the behind-the-scenes stuff a little bit. Just like, all right, let's see how these guys prepare a little bit. That's the part I'm excited for. Just that, between that and the mic'd up moments, I'm just like... I just kind of like, it's going to be interesting to see, like, the difference between, Kirk Cousins and Patrick Mahomes. Because, like, Kirk Cousins, 34, kind of older, trying to get, his recovery, his training process is probably way different than Patrick Mahomes. So, like, stuff like that. I'm interested to see how do these guys prepare. Because from the quarterback position, too, I mean, that's a position where that's a lot of prepping. So I'm very excited to see how that goes. Najee Harris advocates for the running backs. The position is an art. I mean, he's totally right. He is totally right. I think the running backs are just like, this is one of those things where they just aren't valued enough for what they do. Because, like, for example, Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler was a touchdown machine last year. Touchdown machine, and nobody wanted him almost. It's just crazy to think the NFL teams just want to replace it with another, like, it's almost like the, why not, hey, we don't have to pay our running back and we can just, like, kind of put it together, kind of. Like, it's like I explained on Tuesday, where why should we pay a Saquon Barkley when we can just add Matt Breida, Alexander Madison, and James White, and Devin Bush. I know Devin Bush is a linebacker, but that's my point. They'll just throw, like, 3 or 4 guys together and be like, all right, let's get all you guys together. It's kind of sad. First off, it's sad for fantasy-wise that that's how the league is going, because now the running back position is very rare, and that was my favorite fantasy position to look for originally. But the second off, it's just, like, just terrible, man. It's just bad for the, because, like, running back is a very, very valuable position. I would almost compare it to, like, the point guard in the NBA. I think the quarterback is a little bit more the point guard, obviously, but it's like you need, like, a good run here or there too, just to, like, set up. It's literally kind of like a point guard, because it's basically you need, like, occasionally, like, after 2 or 3 throws, like, hey, let's get a good run here just to throw them off balance a little bit, or like, hey, let's get a good run here so we can have the play action later, like. There's stuff that the run game can set up for the whole rest of the game if you can get, like, 4 or 5 good runs. Because, like, especially if you hit 4 or 5 good runs, you get about 30, 40 yards in those runs. I know it's not happening all the time. Or even if you get, like, 15, 20 yards in those 4 runs, like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, the defenders are going to be a little bit slower. They're going to be a little bit more to read. Like, it's just one of those things that's shocking to me how, like, lowly valued the running back position is, because there's some, like, especially the ones that can catch, there's some good backs out there. It really is. Justin Jefferson vows to attend training camp and mid-extension talks. He's going to get a bag from them. I don't think he has to worry about reporting to minicamp. I think it's just finding the number. Chris Jones is absent for minicamp for the Chiefs. I'm assuming this is contract related, because he could be fined up to as much as $100,000. The contract is signed for 2020. Yep, it's a 4-year deal, I believe. So he should be entering the last year of his deal. So that's why he's holding out. That makes a lot more sense. And then the Bengals, Jonah Williams, said that the lack of communication with the Bengals front office led to his now rescinded trade request. The main issue for me was the way I found out. Because I'm sitting on my couch, my fiance is 40 weeks pregnant. Her due date was in, I want to say 3 days, and I'm rehabbing my knee and all that stuff. So apparently, yeah, he requested the trade because, oh, is he? I think he's back, though. I think he's still there. So basically, like, the way it makes it sound, I think he's still there, but I think it's just basically a, they didn't tell him about, like, hey, you might have to move to right tackle. So basically, I think it's just one of those things where he was hurt, his wife is pregnant, obviously, he's rehabbing, his wife is pregnant, so he's stressed out beyond relief already about that stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, by the way, you're going to have to move positions now, we just signed another right tackle. So I bet it's just one of those things where he was beyond frustrated by all that, let something out, and then now he's thinking about, it's like, maybe I was a little bit wrong, maybe I do want to stay. I bet it was just one of those simple situations, which you totally get, it happens. So this is Bears, Jones, slams, Packers fans, Hall of Fame, don't even know football, half of them don't even know football, excuse me. So this is a Bears guy talking about Packers fans, so keep it with the pinch of salt. I wish Rodgers played one more year for Green Bay, honestly, Jones said. Their fans are really shitty. I wanted to go back up there. I want to play them. I wanted to beat them. I wanted to be there so I could see it. But the fact that they're gone now, it's cool. It's better for him not to be there. I think I agree with him. I'm not going to say like that's half of the. I'm not going to go as bad as say half of the fan base doesn't know football, but I definitely do think the Packers fans kind of are not realizing what they're about to miss out on. It's one of those things where obviously you have a guy for forever, and I get that Aaron Rodgers comes with some diva stuff, but I just think it's one of those things where they just don't truly realize what they're going to be missing until it's gone. Aaron Rodgers does a really good job protecting the football, does a really good job at some of this other stuff, so. Yeah, and he's a really, really good quarterback. So the fact that they're going to be losing him, it's probably going to be a bit of an issue. Dalvin Cook is apparently in no rush and not rushing to sign a new deal. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of people that want him. We'll see. I mean, he's at 27. Apparently that's a little bit older. I would think a lot of people would rush to sign him, but we'll see. Obviously, I could be totally wrong. Because just based on the way this running back market's been, the Jets signed Adrian Amos, so another Packers goes to the Jets. That's funny. And that's probably where I'll end the NFL news for today, yeah. It's just, like I said, it's going to be for sure a very interesting offseason, especially with all this running back drama going on. I would not be shocked within the next year or two if we see a few things change. But yeah, I want to go to the MLB now. I just want to talk right before I get off. I just want to talk about the Oakland Athletics a little bit. I'm gonna go over standings. That's it. Talk about standings. I want to talk about the Oakland Athletics a little bit, and that'll be probably where I end the show today. The Rays are in first place, the AL East at 49-22. Second is the Orioles at 42-25. Third is the Yankees at 39-30. Fourth is the Blue Jays at 38-31. Fifth is the Red Sox at 34-35. AL Central, first place is the Twins at 35-33. Second is the Guardians at 31-36. White Sox are third now at 30-39. Detroit Tigers are 27-39, and then the Royals are 18-50. One win under now. A team that's trying to win. One win under the Athletics, who are 19-51 at the bottom of the AL West. But first place in the AL West is the Rangers at 42-25. Second is Astros at 39-29. Angels at 38-32, and the Mariners at 33-34. Yikes! Mariners are not having the best season either right now. The Braves are in first place for the NL East at 42-26. Second is the Marlins at 38-31. Third is the Phillies at 34-34. Fourth is the Mets at 32-36. Fifth is the Nationals at 26-40. In the NL Central, them Pirates, baby. First place at 34-32. A game right behind them is the Brewers at 34-34. And half a game right behind them is the Reds at 34-35. I mean, that Central is right there, wide open. Both leagues, actually. Both Centrals are wide open. Then out West now, the Diamondbacks are first at 41-27. Oh, sorry. The Cubs in the NL Central are 30-37 and fourth. Fifth is the Cardinals at 27-42. First place now in NL West, like I said, Diamondbacks 41-27. How about them Diamondbacks? Dodgers are 38-30 in second place. The Giants are 36-32 in third. Padres are 33-34 in fourth. And the Rockies 29-41 in fifth. Man, how about and like I said, the two Centrals are wide open. I'm probably going to put a little sprinkle on it. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to probably put a little sprinkle on the Pirates maybe. We're going to check the odds. Probably put a little sprinkle. We're going to for sure put a little sprinkle on the Reds. I might hold off on the Pirates. This is to win the division, by the way. Probably going to put a little sprinkle on the Reds. Probably put a little sprinkle on the Pirates as well. I might wait a little bit. And same for the AL Central. I'm going to be all over the White Sox. All over the White Sox. They're still only 5 games back. I'm going to hope they win it out. That's just going to be my pick in that one. But past that, yeah. My favorite, that's probably the Central-wise, those are probably my two favorites in the division. Yeah, it's probably, yeah, that's about it for the standings. Like I said, I want to finish the show off with the Athletics and the sad situation that's going on with them. Shout out to them for doing the reverse boycott where they basically tried to sell out the stadium. I don't know if they fully sure they did or not, but also don't know if the message was fully received because they paid the owner money. But I think that what they did was truly, this is one of those things where it's awesome to see, like, hey, now that we still know the fans want to support this team. It's just they aren't going to with the ownership being so bad. But the A's are now on an 8-game win streak. Like I told you before, they're ahead of the Royals now. The Royals have been trying to win. The Royals are trying to win games. And the A's are now 1 game ahead of them trying to tank. It's been, what the Royals and the Athletics are doing for baseball is disgusting, especially the Athletics. I think the Royals just have a bad roster and just bad. They're badly run right now, but the Athletics are trying to do this. It's disgusting. There's news that I think the stadium now. I think there's issues with the legislative for Nevada for the stadium. Or no, when's the final legislative approval? So, according to this article from the Associated Press, the Oakland Athletics cleared up major hurdle in their planned relocation to Las Vegas. Wednesday, they approved the public funding for a portion of the proposed $1.5 billion stadium with a retractable roof. The deal that backers said will help further establish Las Vegas as the new tournament and sports capital of the world still needs a governor's signature, and MLB still must approve the A's move to Las Vegas Strip, but both are anticipated. The Assembly approved the final version of the bill with a $380 million in taxpayer money on a 25-15 vote after making minor changes to the measure. The Senate approved the vote 13-8 Tuesday, before the Vegas Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup. So basically, that's huge. This basically means that, assuming the governor signs on, which he's probably going to because they're building a stadium on the fucking Strip. Do you know how much money that's going to make, bro? Oh my God, that is crazy to think about. I think all this should be happening in 2025. Yeah, I think the governor's going to say yes. I would not be shocked if MLB says yes, especially because that Oakland Stadium, from the more and more you hear about it, that thing should have been shut down like 10, 15 years ago with how badly it's run. But they're still playing it and everything. Oakland, it's just, feel bad for Oakland, man. They lose the Warriors, they lose the Raiders. Now their last team standing is the Athletics. And by 2025, they're probably going to be the Las Vegas Athletics. And it's just crazy to think about. That's a very historic franchise that it just shows you that sometimes, even though the fans love the teams, the fan will come out to the team. Sometimes, man, the owner who has all the money just has all the power. Because, I mean, the sell the team chants were really loud. It was really cool to see some of the boycotts they did for the Athletics. I mean, you see the Athletics are winning now. They're doing decent. But that's not what the owner's going to want. Owner's been selling their team. Like, legit, if the owner kept the team, the Athletics would actually be decent, have a chance to contend for their division. But nope, he just wants to move to Vegas, doesn't really care too much, and then that's kind of just been their issue. So now that's the issue we've been dealing with now. We're on 25 years of them, or 23 or 24 years, damn near 25 of them trying to find a new stadium. And now they're going to leave because it's been too long in Oakland, and the owner is a part of that reason. But yeah, that's where we're going to end the show today. Did not appear with Captain by a Hook with Red Beard last Friday because he had some stuff going on. But hopefully everything's much better now. It sounds like it has been. So hopefully I'm going to appear with my boy this Friday. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. It's, for me personally, I'm not going to get into it, but we'll just say my dad wasn't definitely is not going to win the Dad of the Year award. Definitely wasn't in the top 15, but it's one of those things. Personally, for me, I don't see him anymore. It's I don't care. Not even one of those things. Honestly, I could give a fuck about it. One of those things in life where it's like, I had a lot happen. I'm not going to go into it in very much detail, but a lot happened where it's like, we obviously don't have a good relationship, non-speaking terms, any of that, which, hey, stuff happens and how it goes, but I wanted to give a shout out to all the fathers out there, the good fathers out there that are standing by, that do their job, because truly, it's something that, man, it's like, parents are a thing that a lot of people take for granted, honestly. I truly believe that. I know this is not a sports talk, but this is just something I want to bring out real quick in the show, because this is my show, basically. So it's like, I want to bring, it's not just going to be about sports, about my life a little bit, too, to have some personality to it and everything, but there's some shitty parents out there that just do awful jobs. So if you truly have, like, a dad that, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a stepdad that, at the time that I did have one, and I love him to death. We're still talking now. He did a decent job for what he did, but like I truly view my mom as my dad. She stepped up and has done so much more for us because I basically didn't have a dad there. So it's just one of those things like, hey, if you have your dad around and he's one of the good ones, man, show him some appreciation. Even if you do on the daily, just show him a little bit of extra love over the weekend, because truly, especially nowadays, good parents and good people are really hard to come by, it seems. But like I said, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for all the support and everything. I appreciate it all. Friday, Captain by Hook with a Red Beard. No podcast this Sunday, Father's Day. So I'm just not going to do one this Sunday. Next Sunday, like I said. So here's the upcoming schedule for the next week. Tomorrow, Friday, hopefully appearing by Captain by Hook if everything goes to normal like it usually should. Should appear in that show Friday. No podcast this Sunday. Podcast next Tuesday. Podcast next Thursday. And then next Sunday, I'm going to be starting hopefully weekly. If not weekly, bi-weekly, we'll go to the Sunday podcast. Like I said, I just need to figure out this whole scroll bar issue. And it's Father's Day this weekend, so it's just, I was talking to Rowan, and I'm like, hey, let's just push it back a week, and we'll talk about it then. But thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for all the support. That's basically the plan for the next week. So you guys, Captain by Hook with the Red Beard, I'm appearing on his show tomorrow. Like I said, I'll see everybody then. If not,
I'll see everybody back on this feed on Tuesday to talk about some more NFL action and even more NFL action because it's officially the offseason. So what the hell are we going to talk about?